Hi, I'm Di with Sister Chicks Quilting, and welcome to my channel today. You know, I have to tell you, I've been doing a lot of cleaning lately. The spring cleaning bug's hitting me, and that bug has found its way into my sewing room. And there's a lot of things I could use cleaned up. For instance, I have this drawer. Do you have one of those drawers? Anyway, I only have part of it out. But this was all in it. There's a bunch of layer cakes. This, look at this, 6.5 inches of 5-inch squares from all of my projects. So literally there's a little bit of one and a little bit of another. And then I have this. Do you have one of these? Look what it says on it. Scraps. And this is little pieces of scraps. I have so many scraps, and you know, they seem to be multiplying. Do your scraps multiply? Today, I'm going to help you with your scrap just a little bit because I'm going to make a scrappy quilt project. Let me show you what my inspiration is. This was from another video that I did. It is all selvages, but nonetheless, it's inspiring me to do a string quilt just out of little tiny bits of scraps that are so pretty you hate to throw them away. I'm going to show you what we need to get going. When I work with scraps, I like to choose the colors. I've picked two analogous colors, blue and green. Now you're going to get a kick out of this. This block has got those two analogous colors in it. So does this one. Can you see the blue and the green? Now the blue does happen to be aqua, but you've got blue and green nonetheless in there. And I threw in a complementary color. You can see it, can't you? It's the orange. And I put these blocks together. Truthfully, it's because I had quite a bit of this, and I love the green and the orange together, and I just felt like it needed some aqua, which is on the blue spectrum. And look at these aquas. So I've been busy making these string blocks out of my scraps. I'm going to teach you how to make a string block today with a tool that I bet none of you have ever tried. What do you think of this? This is a child's coloring book. I stole it from Hazel. I pulled out pages and I cut them 6 inches square. So I have a stack of pages from a child's coloring book. Why? Because they're so easily pierced and they come out so easily. Let me show you the back of my string quilt. I have this nice and starched so you can see it's pulled off of the back. And I did not plan on sewing this quilt together with the paper in it. I'm taking them off of each individual block. That's just the way I'm doing it today. I know there's 100 different ways to do it, but that's the way I'm doing it today. Let's get started making a string block with a child's coloring book cut into a 6 by 6 inch square. Before we start sewing, let's talk about stitch length. This is the setting that I normally have my machine on for quilting, just on this side of the two. But for this project, can you see that? The top stitch length is the normal setting, and the bottom one, see how tight those stitches are? So I'm going to move this down almost halfway between 1 and 2. Oh, that's right, to get that stitch length. And if you don't have a Juki TL2010Q, you can get one. I love, love, love this machine. It's made such a difference in my quilting. Let's get started on those blocks. Let me show you how easy it is to construct one of these blocks. Now, if you noticed on my blocks, I had a white strip down the center of each one of them. And that's a design choice. You don't have to do it. However, when I put these up on the quilt wall, you're going to think that was a pretty cool design choice. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to lay a white strip of fabric, and it can be any width. This one happens to be, I think, 1.25 inches, but I'm going to lay it right on the corner like so. And I'm going to come up with another color that I want to put on that. Is this long enough? No. No. Let's try this orange. I'm just going to sew it right along the 1/4 inch line of the orange piece. Now I have this tail, and I'm just gonna very technically just whack it off like that. The next thing I want to do is to press. You can press with an iron, or you can press this way with a roller. One of these days I'll get a setup with an iron next to my machine. Wouldn't that be nice? So I have a nice white and an orange, and I probably want to put a green strip in. I don't know that I want one as wide as that orange, and this one is, so I'm going to trim it right before your very eyes. And again, this is scrappy, so nothing really has to match. Okay, there's my aqua. Did you notice that I don't put it all the way to the end of the white right here? It does have to be on the other side of the paper, however. Definitely need an orange, and this orange is a little bit red. I'm not in love with that. Do I want to go a bold orange or that? Ooh, I kind of like that orange. It has red dots in it. Look at this orange. It has pink in it. I don't like that. I'm going to go with this orange. That's too much orange, don't you think? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold it off the paper and trim it to what I want it to be. This one is an inch. I don't want this one to be an inch. I'm going to make it smaller. So I'm going to trim it. Look at that. That's nice and skinny. And then I'm going to fold my paper back over so I can sew another piece. Do you notice that I never pick up my presser foot on my Juki, that it just automatically raises? I'm doing that with my knee, and I've gotten so used to doing that. Oh my gosh, it makes sewing a breeze. And then I always use the thread cutter as well. I think I'm going to put another really bright orange on, this true orange, and there's enough of this. This is just a little teeny tiny scrap, but I think there's just enough to do this piece right here. Oh, snap. Look at that. Darn it, not enough to do that piece. Let me see if there's a little scrap of that anywhere. So I'm going to put it just barely on the line, and this one barely on the line, and fold over, and I think that will do it. Okay, here we go. Ready? Cross your fingers. Close enough for government work. There we go. Look at that. Just barely made it. Okay, and I think a bright, bright aqua right there. Something really bright, like this. I like that. Now, what do we want, a green or an orange on this side? And orange. This is getting in the way a little bit, so I'll take that piece off. And I'm going to put a green on the end, and I'd really like a dark green. Wonder if I have one in my scrap basket. I do. There you go. Why did I throw that away? My goodness, that's going to be gorgeous on there. In fact, I'm going to make this orange. I'm going to put it down here so more of the green shows and less of the orange shows. We have a finished block. Let's trim it up. So this is how you do it. I am just putting this right next to the edge of that 6-inch piece of coloring book. And I will have a ta-da moment. Look at that block. Isn't that the coolest? I think this is such a fun way to do with your big pile of scraps and just go at it. So I have 3 blocks I'm going to take to the iron and press. I want to show you how easy this coloring book paper is to tear out of your stitching. And I pressed it right with the paper in, but I used my stiletto and just kind of start tearing, and look at that. I get it under there, and there it goes. It comes off faster than you can believe. I am going to show you some ways to take these blocks and make a gorgeous quilt. And this is your first option, or I should say my option, because I'm making it, right? What gives you the design is that white strip that I put in. And again, you don't have to do the white strip. It could be another color, or it could be no strip at all. What do you think of that? Here it is, fully done. Okay, let's try it another way. This will be fun. What do you think of this layout? Let me show it to you with all the squares in it. Pretty cool, isn't it? Now let me show you the way I want to lay the quilt out. I think you'll like this. This is the design that I've chosen to lay the quilt out with. Here it is with all of the blocks I've made. Isn't this a fun quilt? Isn't this a great block to make? And it has been so much fun and so easy, and you have such fantastic looks with this quilt when you're all done. Here's my takeaways. I like doing the same strip down the middle. It can be whatever you want. That's just how Sister Chick likes to do it, because that gives me this great design. I also like coordinating my scraps. We have so many scraps. You know how I picked these colors? I had a lot of them and I wanted to use a lot. And my last takeaway, don't make it too hard. Grab your grandchild's color book, rip it out of their hands. And use the pages so you can put it on the back of your block and then tear it up and throw it away. We deserve it, right? Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to be so cruel, but whatever. If you like my video, I would love it if you would subscribe, share my link, or give me a thumbs up and or make a comment. I love to hear your comments. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, I have a super exciting video, and it has to do with leftover scraps. See you then. Bye.